Hello, my beautiful people. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, I wanted to come in today. Blessings. I wanted to come in today to be, hello, Rose. How are you doing, honey bun? Hey. How are you doing? But listen, this is all working out for our good, right? One thing I have realized about this particular opportunity is to assess, and it allows you to see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, right? Especially for those that are entrepreneurs and starting entrepreneurs. One thing that I've learned from this situation is preparation is key. It's always, when the Bible says be ye also ready, like you need to always be ready. So those that have been approved for things very efficiently, those that were able to, glide through a lot of these processes or be not necessarily emotionally driven during this season, is because they were prepared. And preparedness comes with a level of sacrifice, right? And that's one thing I've learned. I'm so grateful for all of those that have supported Nekia Foxx and Company through this process. I'm so grateful to have been obedient to the Lord about so many different things in my life, because it has allowed me through this process to be able to be in position for a lot of things, right? Because now I would tell anybody that is looking to go into business, please get all of your documents together in reference to your QuickBooks. Make sure that you have a payroll company. Make sure that you have literally a way to register all of your items. Make sure in this process, hello Rochelle, hello Trevon, make sure in this process, especially when you're a big-minded thinker individual, listen, the season is at hand where the transfer of wealth is taking place. Make sure that you get whatever necessary certifications. Make sure that you've built relationships with your financial institutions. Make sure that you have gotten your credit score and you've researched a lot of the entities that need to be in place when the transfer for you takes place, because it's not about I need to get ready, it's about being ready, and it's about being intentional, especially when it comes to investments. Because when you need a certain amount of revenue, when you need a certain amount of capital to be able to put forth, that's about being intentional. It's not when we need it that it's available, it's when we prepared in advance for it, right? So the transfer of wealth season is at hand. So make sure, if you're a person that wants to get into creating another additional stream of income because you are currently have a business, make sure that you have connected with those that are already doing what you plan on doing, so that you may be able to get blessings, insight on what's required for where you're trying to go in advance, right? Because it's nothing like the level of peace and the level of ease that you have when you know what I need. It's not that I can't acquire it. If I know exactly what it takes, it's just like me saying I want to get $1 million mansion. So what type of revenue needs to be in place? What type of consistent guaranteed income needs to be in place? What type of streams of income do I need to have in place? What are some of the assets that I need to have already purchased to be able to pay for what I am going now to get in advance? One thing I'm learning about getting money, the more money you get, the more money they give you. The more your credit is, the more they allow you to be able to access. And then they need to be able to see that you are not credit heavy, that you are cash heavy. Once again, not credit heavy in reference to you are buying a lot of things and not flipping it properly, that you literally have the utilization available. Because one thing about credit, it's the same way when it's time to go deal with the banks for lenders, and when it's time for you to say I want to buy a couple different properties, or I want to get some investment properties, or I also want to partner up. Even your partnerships are going to want to make sure that you're not you need to have a certain level of capital available to be able to even negotiate and to do business with them as a partner. Because one thing I've learned, even getting into the construction arena, when I'm going after these contracts, they need to know that you can cover, like, these are you have to have a couple million in liability coverage to be able to even get in to bid for the project, right? And one thing I've learned is, don't get discouraged about what it looks like. Your goals, your dreams are supposed to scare you, because if they don't scare you, that's not God. God is not in that. So he allows us to be able to take on faith for things that in our rightful bank account, in our mind, it seems so far-fetched. That's the whole point of him saying, I'm going to build and stretch your faith. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. And if you can do the proper steps to be able to position yourself, you can have it. Because if I know exactly what I need, I remember when I went into, a lot of individuals were having issues about going into a certain sector of business, and I researched it 2 years before I even entered into it. I didn't jump into it because I just, every dollar in easy money, you want to think about longevity in this life. See, even when you're investing, if you want to be an investor, investors don't think about, I need to make the money right now. Investors are long-term thinking mindset, right? Because if you put it in there as if you did not get, you don't have it, you literally just let it sit and let your money work for you. One thing I'm also learning is that the way we view money, it's not the all be all. It's a tool for you to be able to live your best life. It's just a tool, just like many other tools that we have as discernment. Money is the same thing. It's a tool that you're able to utilize to make your life a little bit better, right? So when you look at it as a tool, just like other gifts that we're not using, you're able to assess what you need to do when you need to do it, right? So money is... One thing I've been working with is mindset, relationship, connection, and how I view what I feel I deserve, right? And your money is supposed to work for you. If you're working to get money and you're living off of it, it's a different dynamic, right? And it allows you, one thing there that I'm learning as well, if you allow them to feed you, you put yourself at risk for them to starve you. Once again, let me say that again. If you allow them to feed you, you put yourself at risk for them to starve you. So you are in control of how you position yourself in this one life you get to live. You are either the one producing or the one receiving. When you are a producer, means that, let's go through the P's: production, producing, perspective, positioning. All of those P's are literally placing you from the masses. Remember, only 5% of this world actually knows what's going on, right? And taking place, and willing to do the sacrifice and willing to see beyond what they currently feel. Your goals should scare you, because you're going to have to go after them scared. That's the whole point. If you're not frightened out of your mind, that means it's not big enough. If God only gave you visions that your bank accounts could suffice, you don't need him. So let's stretch our faith in this season. And it's not about what you're currently going through or what you currently see. Let's stretch our faith and allow God to do the miraculous in this hour. He's looking for vessels to be able to bless like never before. But scared money don't make no money. You must be willing to lose this money as well. So when you are an investor, I was telling a young lady the other week, everyone is not a business owner, but everyone should be a good investor. Because as you're seeing, as I've been preaching for I don't know how many years, because this is why, listen, you need multiple streams of income. You need multiple streams of income. You need multiple streams of income. You've been seeing me you need multiple streams of income. It was not just talking for my health. It's straight logic. Because when you have multiple streams of income, I learned this very valuable principle when I was in high school. Let me tell you about a story. I was in high school, going to school for medical, as in HOSA, and I did 2 programs while I was in high school. I've always been a person that wanted plan A, B, C's, and D's, right? And I was in the hair program, cosmetology, and I also was in the HOSA program. So I did 2 dual enrollment programs. So guess what? I had worked to be at the top 5% of my class throughout my whole entire duration in school. So you up with a almost 4.0 GPAs, right? I had 9 scholarships when I came out of college, right? But let me tell you, my last year, after making straight A's and B's, can you imagine your last year in high school, you're getting yourself ready because you want to go to medical school, and you have an incident that happens at the hospital while you are trying to visit one of your classmates because the young lady had just had a baby, and we were visiting her on our break. They give you a break every day, right? And the class before us visited her the day before, so we had no clue that there were any kind of stipulations that we should not be able to visit on our off time at the hospital, people that are there. We pressed the elevator. It was about 7 of us. We pressed the elevator, was just literally going to take her up some flowers and balloons from because she had lost her baby, and she was one of our classmates. We pushed the elevator, door opened, and one of the nurses said, you guys are not supposed to be up here. And we said, oh, no problem, ma'am. We never took a step off of the elevator. We shut the door, went back downstairs. Do you know that lady called the school and the school board and tried to get us expelled? Now, you're talking about straight A's and B's, top of the echelon of education students. And they tried to get us expelled. So guess what? They wanted to give us an F. And you know, in order to get the Bright Future scholarships, that was one of the scholarships I was going after, because that was a guaranteed 75% or 100%. You can only have an AB average. You could not have anything less than that, right? So when that happened, I went and made meetings with the school board. I went and made meetings with the principal. I went in, because that is, listen, I work very hard, and especially when you know you didn't do anything wrong and you were not aware of it, right? But guess what? That's one thing I learned, that life is not fair. You can have some evil people that were positioned to come into your life to try to literally derail your future. And I thank God, because guess what? That they gave us a D. So a D and an A equals what? They didn't fail us. They put us in school suspension, but they took this evil woman's word over trying to sabotage some African American students' future in a program where we never got off the elevator, right? Because you have some people that are evil, that literally they were positioned just to try to derail your future, right? About an innocent incident. And if I was a young person that had little faith as a young person, I would have given up and be like, oh, that's not fair. I can't go to college because I didn't have any other plans. They gave us a D. So a D and an A equals a C. That means that I could not get the scholarship that I had worked for let me tell you how these things go. I could not get the scholarship that I had worked for my entire academic career to go off to school for, right? To be paid for. But guess what? Bing, bing, bing. That plan B, baby. Because one thing about Miss Fox, she got plan Bs, right? That plan B, by me going to school in the other program for hair, quote unquote, for hair, is what people would have been like, what you in school for hair for? Because I wanted to make sure when I went off to school, I didn't have no excuses for my money, because I never wanted to be one of those kids that had to call their parents every 5 minutes. I just never like asking people for anything, because my dad always told me the only thing that is guaranteed is what your own 2 hands and feet do. So when people are always expecting handouts from somebody else, you're expecting to only get the crumbs of life. And I'm grateful for that lesson that he taught me, because a lot of people right now are holding and waiting on a handout right now, and you will only get the minimum of what you could get on your own, right? If you were to put yourself in a power position over your own life, right? And that takes a level of sacrifice. So remember, this is a student that has been double majoring in high school and then proceeded in college. I got that scholarship. Guess what I got the scholarship for? The Bright Futures. I went to FAM. They didn't want to give it to me. Guess what I ended up getting? I went down and walked down up to the state capitol, to the Bright Future school, the office. The lady would not see me multiple times. And guess what happened? I did not stop. I didn't care if the secretary told me she was busy. I said, can I make an appointment? Is it something that I can do? Listen, I was always the student in school. They would be mad at me. Well, she always trying to argue for an A. She always trying to argue for, to do. No, because I understood that when these people give you these scholarships, they don't care about how nice and cute you are. They don't care about how much your mama love you. They only care about that bottom line, that grade. And that's the same thing with life right now. They don't care about how nice of a person you are. They only care about, do you know how to play the game? And what are you bringing to the table? Do you have credit? Do you have capital? Do you have insight? And do you actually know how this thing works? That's all they care about at this time. It's how valuable you are. Are you a liability or assets? That's how they value. That's how they range you. So thank God that I was persistent for 2 straight weeks trying to see the Head Over the Bright Future scholarship. That lady gave me that scholarship. So guess what? Sister girl ended up getting the 75% scholarship to go to Florida A&M. And since my dad wanted to be, my dad was a builder, but he was not licensed. I said, well, Daddy, I'll go to engineering school and I'll get the license. And then you don't have to pay the general contractors. We can go into business together. So that was my goal back in 99. That's 21 years ago, right? I'm telling you this to tell you that nothing that is supposed to be destined to change your life and your family's life is not going to come without roadblocks. But what it will come with is you being able to see the big picture and learn how to sacrifice early. What it will do is you saying, I'm not going to give up and I'm going to do whatever it takes. Remember, I was a cheerleader. I'm one of the ones listen, while they out there cheering, I'm over there in the guidance counselor office trying to figure out what scholarships is on the board. Because when the principal came at the end of the day, because they always see me as some kind of tyrant, and I wasn't a tyrant, I just was a student that you just couldn't treat me any kind of way. And I remember her telling me, oh, we're going to let you graduate. I said, I'm the top 5% of your school. You ain't gonna let me do anything. Listen, I work for this. Listen, that's why I tell kids, you cannot be bad and dumb, right? You can't be bad and dumb. And you know what I tell adults? You can't be dumb and broke. That's the worst combination you can have, is be dumb and broke. And then as a child, you can't be bad and dumb, because look, they're not going to stop to hear nothing you have to say. You can be right and you're going to literally not be heard. Because it's not about how you feel. It's not about what you think. It's what it is. What is it, right? So many people be like, oh, well, that's not right. Okay, well, keep on living, talking about that's not right, and see where that takes you. Because life is not always about what's right. It's about, do you actually know what's taking place and how you need to position yourself to deal with the current circumstances. That's what it is at the end of the day, because life is always going to give you an excuse to say, oh, well, they did this to me. I could have been like that. Oh, well, that lady was wrong. She did this to me. And I could have been like a lot of people that gave up on college when they got the first roadblock and was like, oh, no, I'm about to go anyways. Because I know that I've worked for this and I'm going to do whatever it takes, because it has to be something that I can take. Who do I need to talk to? Okay, well, she can't see me. Okay, well, I'm going to come up to her office every single day, because all I need is one yes. See, that's one thing we have to learn in life. You only need one yes. I don't care. Listen, just yesterday I went after two different things, right? One of them came back an instant no. But guess what? I just walked out of an office, right? That was a yes, right? Listen, you only need one yes. It doesn't matter how many no's you get. You start embracing the no's so they can tell you how you need to correct that, because I'm coming back again to get what's mine, right? See, we can't stop at when we get roadblocks and when things don't work out the first time. That's why, one thing I've learned from network marketing, I've been with TLC for 5 years, right? And I had to pause my area of building a team, because the first go around when I was building a team, I learned that so many people are looking for an excuse for them to give up on themselves. Oh, well, she didn't call me back. They don't understand that this is your life. Nobody is going to, even the Bible tells you got to stop drinking milk. Even the Bible tells you need to start getting some real food, some substance of word in your spirit. Because even then, it's not about what somebody hand out and give you. It's about what you're willing. Are you willing to read the chapters after and build a relationship with God outside of the church? Are you willing to go beyond what they just handed you? Life is only going to give you first grade level. It's up to you to get to the point where you get access to the real information. It's only going to give you what the masses can handle, which is only the minimal. Listen, that's all it's going to give you. So if you're doing what the masses is doing, that means that you have not put the proper effort to go beyond what somebody handed you. See, handouts only go so far. Hookups only go so far, because guess what? And I told you guys, you've been hearing me saying hookups. I don't want no hookups. I want to know how this thing works, because that's how I can master that particular area. Guess what's happening right now? A lot of people are getting laid off. A lot of people are no longer in positions to hook people up, and a lot of people are losing their everlasting mind right now, because the person that hooked them up is no longer there. The thing that gave them the pass to that position, they don't even know how to duplicate. See, you wouldn't be scared if you put in the work. You wouldn't be so fretful if you put in the work to get to where you were or where you are. If you put in the work, you have the roadmap to get back there. So all I came on here today to tell anybody in a word of encouragement, and this is not to talk down on anybody, because this whole situation has put up the veil over everybody's face in reference to what we have been lacking in our personal lives that we could have been doing. It's more that I could have been saving. It's more that I could have been literally having acquired. It's more that I could have been organized that would help me out in so many different areas. It's more that I could have been put money here. One thing I'm also learning, I'm supposed to have way more assets than what I have, because I have 0 children and 0 husband, and you can't make that type of money without the assets to be able to cover. You need the assets, because the more money you make, the more assets you get to acquire to be able to fund the life that you live. See, I'm learning in this thing as well, because I'm just now being introduced to a level of wealth that it's new to me. So guess what I do? I start getting around people that, listen, they are millionaires and billionaires. What are you doing? I'll pay for whatever time you have. What is the cost for me to just get? Listen, I don't want to ask you for nothing, because I don't want no handout. Just tell me what you did to get to where you were. And if you were in my position, all I just want is you just to give me a perspective view of my current situation, and I'm willing to pay you for it, because I normally would not have access to this level of conversation. What did you do to be able to acquire these type of stocks, bonds, all these type of, like how did you master investing in this ETF, or how did you know how to get into the S&P's 500? What is the easiest route you would tell me getting into this? How would I need to go over and structure my business this way? How am I maximizing everything I currently have? See, you have to pay for that type of stuff. Because if not, you're going to be left with the 95% that are being slaves on land right now. You must be willing to do whatever it takes, and everybody is not going to charge you. Some people might bless you, but please see the value in when you get access to information that you know generationally you wouldn't know nothing about. So they like to keep you out the door, right? They like to keep you, so many people are on Instagram being a bystander looking out. They're on the sidelines looking at a whole lot of people, pretty lives and all this other stuff. But you must be willing to get in the game. You must be willing. If I lose, okay, oh well, I'm going to get it again. Ain't no problem. So whatever I did last time, I'm just going to structure it differently. I'm going to literally, listen, I've told you all I've lost it 3 times. But guess what that taught me? It taught me what? Exactly what I need not to do, who I need not to be around, and how much value my energy and how focused I need to be about my goals. That's why when I meet people, they be like, oh, you especially when I meet my good old male friends, they be like, you're just so intense, and can you just be, no, I'm not normal. Because until I get to the place of financial freedom that I know I'm supposed to have, so that I can be able to really assist the kingdom and really be of assistance to the world, listen, we're just on another vibration. Our priorities are different. I respect that. It's plenty of other people over here that is TikToking and wasting time. Listen, go with them. It's a slew of people that have no clue, that haven't even read a book in I don't know how many years. It's a slew of people that are not trying to live their best life. It's a slew of people that are not trying to create heaven on earth. It's so many people that say, I just want to be over here being check to check. It's so many people that are saying, listen here, this ain't work out for me. This happened in my childhood, so this is why I am. It's so many of those. It's a lot at the bottom. I want to be able to do the work to get to the top, so that I can tell once I get to the top, those that thought it was too hard to get to the top, listen, if I can do it, you can do it. Listen, nobody is no different. God is no respected person. You just got to put in the work. Even the Bible tells you, you got to work out your own soul salvation. So many people are looking at people's lives and from the outside, but you don't even know what them people had to fight to get there. What did they have to go through? How much pain did they have to go through? How much loss did they have to go through? How many tears did they have to, like the tears that you don't see? How many literally being brave and bold steps did they have to make on their own because their environment was not conducive to having anybody else to mentor them about the steps to take? All I can say is nothing is hard in this life. It's only the things that you value that you must see are worth what you're saying it's worth for you. I can't tell you what you need. That's why the whole point of when I work with my coaching clients, I don't know what you need. Only you know that. He placed it inside of you. When you get to know him, he'll show you the real you. Because when I was going through it, I was so, I know everything when I was younger, right? In my 20s, I thought I knew everything until the life got real, right? And then I figured out, okay, I don't know nothing. And that's when I started knowing something, when I found out I knew absolutely nothing, right? That's when it started really taking place, when I figured out the whole time, listen, and for him all out, I don't know anything. Because life is about continuously changing. Life is about continuously adjusting your thought process, continuously. The ones that are easier and adapted to change are the ones that are able to what? Move forward quicker. The more you fight it, the more it's all about surrender. Even when we're going through our posture of deliverance in our own personal journey, the easier it is for you to surrender to what he's trying to do to you, the faster you can get through it. The more you're trying to buck the system and you don't want to deal with it, Lord, I don't want this pressure, you're going to have to get right back to the same spot again. So if I can't say anything to anybody today, it would be, listen here. Listen, I got 2 no's, but I got 2 opportunities yesterday, and one of those turned out to be a yes. You don't stop with the first no. You keep going, and you keep adding it, because I know what type of portfolio I want to have. When I'm listening to people that are making it was let's make 100,000. Okay, I done did that. What's up? Okay, well, let's get to this $500,000. Okay, well, how what steps do I need to multiply the 6 figures to the $500,000 and then get to the 1 million? Because I see, one thing I'm learning is it takes a certain amount of assets. Come on, people. I know what my goal is this year and how much assets I want to acquire. And I position myself to get the knowledge, to figure out what all am I missing to get that and make that happen. That's the only thing in this life. It's not that you can't have it. You just need to figure out what it takes to get what you say it takes. I remember when I wanted a $100,000 car. Okay, well, we're driving in a $100,000 car. All I need to figure out is, well, what do I need to do so that $100,000 car can work for my business, right? And work for my life, right? That's why I meet so many people. Listen, you should, no, you do what's best for you. I know my plan for me, listen, it might not have happened how I want it, but I guarantee you I'm all about self-mastery, and I know what works for my life. Listen, what happens when you figure out exactly what it takes? It used to be so far-fetched. I remember I started off with, I've had like 14 cars. I started off with like a Kia Sophia. And then I remember when I bought my first house at 23 years old, and then I figured out, oh, well, this is the process for that. Okay, well, long as I have this type of income and this type of income and this type of income, okay, and then I have this, and I can prove it. Okay, well, I can get this type of house. I know what type of mansion I want now, so I know exactly how much assets I need to have to pay for this mansion, right? So what we do, we start off with the plan. We work the plan. Guess what needs to happen? I know that what the Lord told me last year to decrease all my liabilities, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm grateful for it, because if I wouldn't have listened last year, he said, listen, where I'm taking you, it's going to take a level of sacrifice. Where you're going to get all that, but I need you to listen. Some seasons when people think you losing, you're actually winning, because that's more money in your bank account. See, when people think you've actually, listen, if I know how to get it the first time, I know how to get it again. So don't worry about that phase when you have to go through season where people thought you done dropped off and lost it, when you actually, that was your time to get that good old cash on hand. Because everybody from here on out, for at least the next couple 3 or 4 years, you're going to need cash. You're going to need provable income. You're going to need them documentations. They don't care. It ain't no more stated income. That is over. I've been telling everybody last year, that's why we taught the credit class. Get the credit now. But everybody thought I was just talking. Because once they stop, because I knew it was coming, you're not going to be able, and they're going to change the guidelines. So now when you go to get something, whatever used to be approvable, that they can prove for $650, now you're going to need a $750. So the game's change. And you better make sure you're not caught with your mouth open when the games change. Make sure you have your stuff together. And make sure you're not willing to always take the easy route out. Because it takes money to play ball. And listen, they want to know, even when I'm investing in stocks, I want to know if the company is cash heavy or if they have a lot of different things they had to pay for. So they're credit heavy, meaning that they're waiting. That's why a lot of companies are going under, because they're waiting on the time that they need to be able to flip their money. It was too much that was borrowed, and now that turns into debt because it wasn't able to be paid back, right? Listen, that's the same way when you're looking at those stock markets. You're looking at, listen here, what is the structure and the foundation? And see, when I started getting into investing, I started looking like, well, when I'm looking for a good company to invest in, I need to make sure my business is structured the same way. So I need to make sure that I structure my business to have a nice solid foundation and to actually I need to position streams in place to be able to safeguard my business so it doesn't get shaky if something happens, because it's all about being able to maneuver. So that takes a level of sacrifice, and it takes a level of understanding to know what you need to do when that happens, right? Because life is forever changing. Nothing is guaranteed. So I wanted to come on today, hello Hope, and say, listen here, please don't stop because you get a no. Please get away from people that's looking for an excuse. You know, the ones that be like, oh, well, they didn't answer the phone. Well, call again. Goodness. I mean, you know, they didn't answer the phone. Well, call again. You waiting on something, make it happen. You know, they waiting on an easy way to be like, oh, well, that's not for me because they didn't get back with me. So you just finna leave your life in the hands of somebody just thinking of you special and get back with you when this is your life. That's why I take my time with working with people in business, because this is your business. That's not my business. You need to put in the work. I'm not going to work your business for you. It's called a business. This is not a hobby. This is not anybody, you know, that's why so many of the churches is getting burnt out, because they're dealing with so many people that want the church to walk out their salvation for them. He said, walk out your own soul salvation, meaning he told you need to get your own relationship with the Lord. You don't have to call the pastor every 5 minutes. You need to have your own. You can get on your same knees just like the pastor. You see, it's no separation between you and the Lord. That's the same way when it comes to things in life. Stop being around people that's looking for the easiest excuse to give up. If they will give up on themselves, what makes you think they will stick in the game with you? The easiest reason and the way out, they're going to be like, I'm done. Listen, the quickest way to get out, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. They're gone. And they're waiting for the excuse to be like, you know, and a lot of people say, you're so strong and you're so, you know, blunt. It's not that I'm blunt. I just don't have time for the foolishness. Listen, I am literally almost 40 years old. I choose not to be around almost 40-year-old individuals that have not even a clear understanding of what is even taking place in their life. Not even understanding, if they don't get their stuff together in a major way, you are not going to be able to retire. If you do not get yourself together, because you only have a good 15 more years in this sucker to hustle. Listen, if you don't get your stuff together, you are going to be one of the elderly that are going to be stressed for the rest of your life. Listen, that's the reality to this thing. So many people are just living day to day when you have to be intentional in this life. It's not about when you need it. It's about what you prepare for. The same thing with your walk with the Lord. It's not about what I need from God. What have I positioned myself to receive from the Lord? If I want this type of husband, Nekia, what type of work have you done to position yourself to be the woman of God, to be that type of helpmate that type of man needs and requires? If you're saying you want this type of level of wealth, what type of things have you done? That's the first thing I ask my clients. What have you done to change your current situation? I don't want to hear what's going on. What have you done? That's why I tell people I only work with overachievers, because the other people frustrate me. I'll leave them for those that be like, oh my gosh, you know, talk to your friends for that. Come to me when you want to get real in your life. Don't come to me when you just need somebody to listen to, because I don't have time for it. I don't value wasting time. I just don't. Listen, I don't value it. Like some people, they allow themselves to waste so many months with situations that at the end of the day, if you would have just not answered that phone, every single time that particular situation happened, you might be in a better place, because then you look at a lot of situations and you're like, well, goodness, if I wouldn't have answered that phone, I could have folded up my clothes. If I wouldn't have answered that phone, I could have read a chapter in this book. If I would have just, gotten up a little bit earlier. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Listen, the Bible even tells us this thing is not about, everybody is not going to make it. That's the reality. Make sure you understand who you are and whose you are, and you position your mind. Listen, this thing is about the mind. This is not a lesson. I'm just ranting today about some real stuff, because somebody is in the midst of it, and you're having that opportunity to walk and talk yourself out of living your best life. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what you lose through this situation. I don't care. Blessings and love you. I don't care what it looks like. You just need to put in your head, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get through this. That's all you need to focus on. And that I'm going to focus on the things I can control, which is, what am I eating during this time? Am I now putting myself in a place of discipline during this time? You will never get this season again in your life if you're in your 40s, that you literally have had weeks at a time to literally do whatever you felt you've been praying you needed to do and get done. So for all of those that go be complaining next year, you make sure they don't call your phone. Because they've had a whole, you would never see this type of time again until you retire, maybe. You will never see, blessings, Ella, love you. I haven't been able to see the comments. You will never get this opportunity when you get pre-retirement time to literally do what you've been saying you're supposed to been doing for a very long time. You won't see this again for those that are close to 40 for another, who knows, until whatever time you retire. Listen, where you literally get to be the owner of your time. They're telling you to stay in the house, but do something with your time. Hello, Christine Speed. How you doing? Love you. Do something with your time. What can I do? If I can't do this, what can I do? Another area in which I am so frustrated with when I talk to people, I say, well, listen, I know that you've been in business for this amount of time, because this is when I meet people from all walks of life. I am a business strategist, meaning that I literally help you figure out multiple ways of creating wealth in every single area of your greatness. So you're paying me, and when I tell people, I charge $350 an hour. That's my rate. If you go on my website, that's the rate. If you need business strategy, you're not paying me for the time. You're paying me for the shift that just happened. You're paying me for the information of how I'm giving you the step-by-step with what I'm seeing from your situations of having 15 years as an entrepreneur with no husband, with no background, with no cushion of getting this thing and being able to have access to information that most people have not. They won't even pay $50 for something. So I pay over 6 figures for information to be able to know how they really like if I want money, I need to figure out how how does the money work, right? So when I deal with people, and for those that be like, oh my goodness, 300 or 350, well, honey, if $350 is too much for you, well then guess what? I have courses online for you. Go online. You can go to NekiaFoxx.com. You hit the courses button, and you have a slew of courses to get you started. And if you can't pay between $100 to $300, guess what I got? I got something else for you. You can just get this transformation journal that's going to help you get clear on your goals. And guess what? In business, you can get this business blueprint to help you with your credit and get you processing with every single thing you need with your business. But if you can't pay the $30, you cannot be on my phone. You cannot be on my phone. You cannot be on my phone, because that season has been concluded 2 years ago for me. Because if I have to swipe my card for information, you got to do the same, because people that pay attention. And for those that thought, because I told everybody, because see, I'm a woman of my word, and when I speak, the reason why I be coming on here doing these rants and talking, because my conscience is clear afterwards. Because I tell people they can just go on YouTube. All of these videos are on YouTube. They can go on YouTube if they want to know anything about me and my thought processes and what I feel. You can go on. It's tons of free videos on YouTube. And no, it's not about the step-by-steps. Because if I'm just giving you something that you don't have understanding with, you can't do nothing with it. So you're just wasting the time, right? And my time is very valuable, because my time is connected to my energy. Blessings, yes. But see, that's the thing that I no longer have. That's not an area that I got to work on. It's proving to myself I'm worth what I charge. I mastered that when I was doing hair for the last 20 years. I mastered being able to say what most people are charging 1/4 of what I charge. I mastered that long time ago, when I said I am willing to be able to not eat right now so that I keep my worth. I'm willing to stay single right now to keep my worth. One thing I mastered is knowing how to keep my worth, because you always can increase your value. It's hard, but it's hard. Once, wherever you start at with a person and how they view you is the way you have to finish it. And a lot of people want to start off low and then, I don't believe in myself. And then they want to go high. You can't, the shock factor don't work. I'd rather not eat and you come to me when you get your stuff together. I used to tell people, listen, when you get your money for your hair, then you can call me. But what we're not going to be doing, because this is not a flea market, I am very intentional about my craft. If you're on your job and you've worked for 20 years, I'm sure you didn't expect to get paid the same thing. I'm sure you did not expect. That's why I have a hard time dealing with a lot of stylists, because they don't understand business. That's why I was working with a lot of them. I'm like, listen, how are you allowing the world to dictate your worth? You only need 30 good clients. You don't need all of these random people every single 5 minutes. You only need 30 good clients that actually value what you do. And that's all I did. So I was able to live for the last 10 years off of 15 people a week. 15, while everybody else doing about 10 a day, I'm going to do my 15 a week. Then it went down to me doing 6 a week and making the same thing that they be making when they slaving all day and all night. Because I'm going to leave that to them, because it's based on mindset. Because I knew my value. I know my value. And the same thing when it comes to men and dating. Listen, you can keep on talking to all of those women right here. I'm not a regular woman. When I come in your life is going to change. I know what value I add. Listen, I know what skill sets I have prepared myself to be an amazing wife, that you don't have to ask me if I want to cook or if you're together. If you got women that's married to men, the husband don't even take multivitamins. How is that the head of your household? You don't even take care of the man that's supposed to be the head of your household. Like the man over there eating junk food, he eating fast food. If that's one of your biggest investments, is supposed to be your earthly king. He over there looking like he have not been taken care of. I can't, he haven't been taken care of, I don't know how long. That's my thing. But anyways, I digress. Make sure you know your value and figure your target audience, because everybody is not your target audience. I only deal with and talk to the 5%, meaning that the people that actually still believe in quality, the people that actually believe in worth still, the people that actually believe in substance still. Remember, I'm not going out expecting everybody to even connect with what I'm saying. I only expect to speak to the 5%. The 95% is doing what the masses do, and they're going to deal with whatever the masses have to deal with. And everybody's minds and hearts are clear. This thing is so real. Listen, and you're not going to be received by everybody. Get connected to that. You're only supposed to be focusing on those that you are assigned to, because everybody is not your assignment. And for those that are specifically connected to who God sets you out to be able to help on this journey, right? Listen, I don't want to be for everybody. But what I do want to be is be effective and to add value, really add value, and to be able to master the things in which I was put on this earth to master. Because I'm not supposed to master everything. I'm just supposed to master what I'm supposed to master, whatever area that is. And when we start taking on our gifts and seeing that I don't want to master all that, I just want to be able to master all that I've been given. Let me just focus on my lane and become an expert in my lane. And whatever my lane is, if they come in my lane, they're going to have to vibrate on that level. If not, they have to get on the side of the road. It's simple. It's not about doing all these different things. If that's not all the things that you do, just master what you do. Provide the best quality services. Provide the best experience for what you do. Listen, I never did finger waves. I always sent the people to the ones that they did finger waves very good. You're not going to keep me over here sweating just to try to get $1 when at the end of the day, the person is not going to like their hair. I'm not going to feel confident about it. And I've just really traumatized that person as far as the look that they were going for. It's not going to be executed. So guess what? I say, listen here, honey, I'm going to send you over to Wendy, or I'm going to send you over to Kendall. These women, they mastered finger waves. That you're going to leave feeling so good. You're going to leave because they are going to bring that vision to life. Now, when they were coming to me for the bomb cut, for their weaves to look natural, for them to literally have a service that is not just going to last for 1 and 2 weeks at a time, that's going to have longevity to it, then come to me, because that's what I specialize in. And for those that don't want a ghetto environment and they want to come and have a great experience and learn something from the environment and to be surrounded about other women that are literally doing good things in their life, then you be one of my clients. See, I learned how to stay in my lane and be great at my lane and know what set me aside from others. Listen, some people are worrying about quantity. I'm only focused on quality. Because if you focus on quality, you're able to see longevity. Let me say that again. If you focus on quality, quality assures longevity. If you focus on numbers, you're focusing on temporary results. If you're focusing on get it, know that that's not going to last for a very long time. That it's just simple. If you focus on just getting them, well, just expect when they hear the next banging name or word of somebody, if they hear this person doing this and the trend change, they're going to go. Know that all of those people are going to leave as soon as all of that fuzzy stuff in their ears they start hearing. They want to be connected to who's popping in the city. Listen, if you are going to be a person that's worrying about quantity, you're going to be susceptible to them never having longevity in your life. And that's for anything: business, relationships, friendships, all of that. You want to focus on quality. And also, you want to own as much of your 24 hours as you can. Those that own the most of their time is able to make the most of their time. So if I own the majority of my time and get to all of my time, I'm able to make the most out of my time. But those that earn the least of their time is able to make the least with their time, right? But anyways, this is just this little chocolate sister talking, that this is all that's going on. Ella, quality is timeless. It never ends. I agree, sis. That's my soul sister. Right, that's right, Shamika, another one of my beauty experts in the building. Hello. I met her during one of the roughest seasons of my life when I had to I was working in 3 different cities and at 3 different salons. I had a salon in Fort Pierce. I was coming back and forth working in Orlando, and I was working in JCPenney's in Boynton Beach. Listen, that season, Shamika, prepared me for the current season that I'm in. When I was willing to just get it and take care of my father and be able to be in the hospital with him every single time I needed to. Listen, that season of being stretched is what ended up preparing me for the excess of when I ended up moving back to be able to make it happen on that level. Hey, Evanette, how you doing, beautiful Miss Pinker? But I'm so serious. Listen. I'm here just to be organically with you. I could have, I'm not one of them women that you got to see me when it's all dolled up. Go on my website for that. See me with the makeup and the this and the that. It's a time and a place for that, because so many people are missing out on their moment. So many people want this to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, long as it's perfect for you. See, so many are giving so many, one thing I've learned about freedom, I've learned that you have to be comfortable in your own skin. People are really buying you. They're not buying the product. They're buying you. So the more you invest into yourself and how you love yourself and how you see yourself, the more they're going to see you the same way. The more you literally start, it's about the energetic. Money is about energetic. The more you literally feel you deserve it, the more you have access to it, right? So one thing about the spiritual realm, it doesn't matter what's coming out your mouth. You're only going to see what's really in you. So that's the beauty of this thing. So it's not about what comes out. We can talk a whole lot of stuff. But what happens in the spiritual realm, it only shows you what's really in you. See, you can fake a whole lot of people on the surface, but your path and what you see in your life comes from the spiritual realm. just like karma, just like the law of reciprocity, the law of reciprocity. So many people want to receive when they don't give. It never works because it's about the spiritual realm. You can't hide from the spiritual realm. If you are tight-handed with giving, you're going to keep your hand closed when it's time to receive too. See, it's about the spiritual realm, meaning that's the whole point of me telling people you're trying to be too slick with the wrong people. You can't out-cheat your journey. This journey is for you. You can't out-slick or out-talk or out-trick your own journey that has been customized, that you chose to walk when you came on this earth. You can't be slick with what was designed to help you be your best self. You only end up cheating your own self. You cannot hide from the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm sees and knows all. You ain't even got to say nothing, and it's finna show you exactly what's going on. You don't have to repeat a word, but the spiritual realm is going to show you what you really deserve. It's going to show you what is really in you. It's going to show you how beautiful you are on the inside. The spiritual realm is going to show you that you are a fruitful investment of the world. The spiritual realm is going to show you that you are really the light that is glowing in this hour. The spiritual realm comes through truth and only truth. That's why he said it should happen more what? In the spirit, the spiritual, than the natural, right? Because even when we're praying and we're fighting, it's not about what we see with our own eyes. It's about what we really know is taking place, because then God gives us revelation. And when you get that revelation, you get peace about a thing, right? When you get revelation, you can look over what the current plot is and you can see the end before it happens. But that's in the spiritual realm. Come on now. That only takes place in the spiritual realm, where the Lord show you what's going to happen, even when everything is currently happening that looks the complete opposite. Only that takes place in the spiritual realm. And that's what he's trying to send his people to do. I need you to connect to me so I can input the directions that I have for you, so I can show you who you are. I can literally allow myself to grow you up into the person to be able to have access to what you're saying you deserve, right? Because we have to rise up to that. It's not just that I just feel. That's why feelings never give you any promotions. The way you feel never promotes you. Because you feeling this way is fickle. If you feeling this way today, feeling this way tomorrow, feelings, I feel like I should have this, I want this, all of that will never give you access to what you say you really have. Get it and it's going to slip right through your hands. That's right. It would say the spiritual real are our roots. Right. That's the foundation. Listen. If I am not willing to be, and you got to get to the point where you're like, Lord Jesus, I surrender from all that I say about myself, about my life, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be able to become the person, the vessel that means you're willing to say, strip me down, naked, bare, naked, vulnerable, show me my ugly, and please deal with me so that I can be able to now get a solid foundation. It's just like a house. You cannot go build a new house on old soil that's damaged, uneven pavement, uneven ground. You normally have to go clear out the whole land. You got to clear it all out. You got to do demolition. When I'm going on a job site, listen, the first steps is we got to plan. When you want to build a house, the first step is the planning process. Like you can't even get to the going out to the land. The first step is being pre-approved for it. Meaning that you got, in a spiritual realm, they got to see if you approve for what you say you're ready to access. Then you got to go into the planning phase, meaning that you're meeting with the people, the architects, you're sitting down, you're getting the design ready. You're literally saying, listen here, this is what it's going to take for what your vision is. This is what it's going to cost. If you want this type of cabinets, if you want this type of, literally what type of, do you want travertine or do you want the $2.15 tile? Or do you want the 97-cent tile at Home Depot? Or do you want it custom? So let's tell you what you're seeing in your head, what it's going to take to make that happen. First, you go through the planning phase and start figuring out what it really takes to be the person that you say you are, right? Then you go into, okay, it's time to get into work. it's time to put the work in. Then you go and you acquire the funding for it, meaning that you acquire the funding to get what you want, meaning that in the spiritual realm, you acquire the knowledge to get what you want. Because first you get the knowledge on what you say you want, then you're able to apply it, right? So the same thing as far as the funding for your house getting approved by the bank, that's the same thing where you're getting the knowledge, you're reading the word, you're getting certified in different areas, you're structuring your business for this. Now you're getting the knowledge for what you say you want. Then, that's right, Ella, it's the blueprint. That's right. We have to look at the earth for inspiration. Then you get the knowledge for what you say you want to become. And baby, when you get the knowledge, it's the same as the funding for your house. Now it's time to build it. Okay. So then we're able to go in and we're able to acquire the land and we're able to clear it out. All that stuff, that the trees that we're able to set, we're able to literally demolition everything that's not going to be ready, that's not going to be needed for the vision for this house. We're going to leave this tree because this is still left on the plans. We're going to leave this part of you. We're going to leave that part of you because that's good. That's in the plan. We're going to leave this part of you because that's good. We'll take that part of you. That's in the plans. Oh, this part of you, we're going to keep that part. And then we're going to clear out all this other stuff that's holding you up. We're going to clear out all this stuff that's going to be getting in the way of what we're trying to build. We're going to clear out all that stuff, right? That's what's going to happen. The Lord is going to clear out all that stuff that's going to interfere with what he has for you, right? And then he's going to set that. He's going to send someone. He's going to, of course, send the surveyors out. And he's going to lay it out, get the foundation ready. That's right. It's all about that transformation, that transmutation. That's right. Blessing. He's going to literally start setting the foundation for your new. And that's what we're in. Once again, we're at a reset moment where hopefully you're at a position to acquire the knowledge, to be willing to fortify yourself, to position yourself for what you say you want, so that you can literally, the Lord is taking away some things that's getting in the way of where you want to go. He's clearing it out. Don't hold on to it. Let it go, whatever it is, and whomever it is, let it go, because he has to get you ready for the life that he says you are worth, right? So this is the hour that we're in. He's giving us all a second chance of reset. He's given us all a chance of saying, this is what worked, this is what did not work, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what serves me, this is what no longer serves me. Now let's get to work, right? That's what happens. I think I got a meeting in a little bit, but that's what happens, right? That's what's taking place right now. So take this opportunity. Allow God to do all that he wants to do in your life. Spend this time with him. Enjoy this opportunity that is at hand, because the transfer of wealth is happening and you have all that it takes to get access for yourself and your family and for those you are assigned to. You guys, I hope that I was able to share some type of nugget, some type of inspiration, some type of insight, some type of depth to some of the things because we're all going through the same process. Nobody is exempt from what's taking place. We're all going through the same thing, but you must be willing to play your best hand. That's all you got to worry about. Whatever I got to do with, whatever I didn't do, should have did, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Now I know what I need to do, and I'm going to make this thing happen. I'm going to make the best of this amazing life that God has for me. Now I know why I should be eating healthy. Now I know why I should be exercising. Now I know why I should be reading a book. But now I know why I should be creating and cultivating my network. Now I know why I should have fruitful relationships. Now we know. Come on now. Now we know. Now we know. Blessings. Blessings, you all. Love you, and Ella Apostle. Love you. Love you, every single person on this live. I love each and every one of you. If you have not heard it, I love you. You have exactly what it takes. Love you, Christine. Love you, Evanette. Blessings, blessings, blessings. You have exactly what it takes in the inside of you to make the best out of this amazing life. You see me, I'm all out here sweating and everything to make the best out of this amazing life that God has destined for you. Listen, for those that this is your season for the stock market, listen, get on it. Get on it. For those, this is your season to look in these houses that you want to buy. Get on it. For those, this is the season that you want to start your business. Get on it. For those that this is your season that you want to get more money, get on your credit. Listen. Let's shorten the stretch. Let's close the gap. Let's put the necessary steps in to get what we are missing and to put ourselves in positions. Love you, Ella. Listen, to put ourselves in position for all that God has for us in this season. Listen, it's here. It's here. And it's happening. And it's beautiful. No, it's not going to be easy. Don't expect it to. But know that you have, listen, we done been prepared for this. You have exactly what it takes to shift like never before in this hour. You have exactly what it takes to vibrate higher. You have exactly what it takes to manifest every single thing that God has showed you in your heart space. You have exactly what it takes. God bless you all. Love you. Everything